Okay, so today it's just a short one. This is going to be about, I did the modes, which was cardinal, mutable, and fixed, and why we would look at why somebody is dominant in that and how I can help them. The next thing we want to consider about your chart are the qualities or the elements, which would be fire, earth, air, and water, because you could have a lot of one and not enough of another. My chart is definitely for sure that way. So fire, in general, we're looking at dry and hot, makes sense. Earth is cold and dry. Air is warm and moist, and water is cold and moist. So there'll be some differences and such, just a bit, as we move through the signs and such. So the temperatures, heat will express itself as expansion and vitalization. Cold expresses itself as contraction, crystallization, and concrete. Dry expresses itself as radiation and irritation, and moist expresses itself as relaxation, mobility, and plasticity. Okay, so I will use my chart as an example a good hunk of the time. So hang on here. So the planets, how the planets express themselves: the sun, which is for vitality, is hot and dry. The moon is nutritive. It's terrible, I can't say that. Cold and moist. Mercury is neural, and it is cold and dry. Venus is lymphatic, warm and moist. Mars is inflammatory, hot and dry. Jupiter is plethoric, hot and moist. Saturn is chronic and restrictive, so that's cold and dry. Uranus is spasmodic, unusual, and it's cold and dry. Neptune is chromatic, and drugs are related to that, and cold and moist. And Pluto is transformative, and we're looking at hot and cold. So I'm going to use my, in the whole house system, my 6th house is Taurus, and Saturn and Mars sit in there. And people freak out when they, oh my God, Saturn is in there, and it's right next to Mars. Those are supposed to be malefic, but are they really? Okay, so to me, they cancel each other out, because Mars is inflammatory, but Saturn is cold. And I have a big Aries stellium in the 4th house. So to be honest, it is literally to my benefit that this is the way that it is. I know I went over 3 minutes, which means it's now not going to get distributed out there. I couldn't really give a shit about algorithms and such. So hopefully this meant something to you. I would love it if you shared it and such. So what else is in my chart that would be helpful? Oh, it's because, we look at Mars and Saturn as malefic, but then we have a tendency to say Jupiter and Venus are benefics. But are they really, right? Too much of anything is not to anybody's benefit. So this is where Mars and Saturn have a really pivotal role. All right. Want your chart read to see what you're deficient in, or why your tummy still is sensitive? Reach out.